it is big drama right now that Donald Trump got shot at and the person missed. Now, I'm no fan of Donald Trump, and I don't think that Jimmy Snow or anyone else at the line is either. I don't think Matt Dillahunty is. I don't think whoever else is. This video is called Don't Be Fucking Stupid, the Trump Assassination Attempt. So this is Jimmy Snow. Now, full disclosure, yeah, I've been on the line or whatever. I don't think I'll be back onto the line anytime soon, although I'd love to. I just don't think they would have me. I had a little beef with Matt. We'll talk about that in this video as well. Matt Dillahunty had a really bad take that I want to talk about in this video. We're not going to watch this whole thing. It's related to this whole thing. Jimmy is like, he likes to say that he's like a leftist or whatever. And like, that's a pretty new position for him, like any of this stuff, because he's like an ex-Mormon and he's sort of like deconverted and had a whole thing. And when he first started out, he reached out to me and was like, hey man, can you come to my thing and help me out? And I did. And now he's way bigger than I am. And that's great. Great for him. He treats it very much like a business, and it is. That's fine. It's his prerogative. I was off-put personally by some of that stuff, but all in all, I think that while I don't fuck with Jimmy, like on a personal level, like I think he's it's kind of cringe. I like Jimmy enough. Like, I think he's a fine person who it's whatever. I don't think he thinks I'm pretty fucking dope or anything. Maybe he does, or did. I don't know. So it's like, we have like a mutual sort of like, sometimes we've done stuff together. I, for all intents and purposes, still like this show and Jimmy and Matt and whatever. But I feel like there's a thing that happens with liberals. And I really think it's just systemic with all liberalism. Instead of being like, what keeps them from being a leftist, they'll call themselves progressives or whatever. But like, what keeps them from being a leftist is that they are of the mindset that the Republicans, or just like far right people in general, like still deserve to be treated as if the rules matter, right? Like as if decorum or taking the high road has any sort of like actual material function, when really it's just filled with fucking half measures, right? The problem with liberals is half measures. They never get anything done. They alienate their base. What have they done for anybody in a long time besides, try to mitigate the issues of capitalism? You know what I mean? The problem with liberals in general is that while they get like some of the answers right insofar as like what is racism good? And they're like, nope, racism's not good. But they don't like necessarily know why. I think racism may be an easier one, but like the concept of systemic racism, or ACAB, for instance, to take it down a further step, or land back, or stuff like that. Anyway, this isn't about that. This is about the Trump assassination. And this is another thing, like political violence, right? I think before we say anything, and he's going to make his own thing, I mean, I don't think the guy who fucking shot Donald Trump was a political ally of ours. You know what I'm saying? I would have been just absolutely fine with any of the far-right political people on planet Earth not living anymore through acts of God like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to motivate any political violence, but I mean, like, I don't mind, like, I don't mind if seeing bad people reap what they sow. Like, because Donald Trump is, like, literally sowed violence himself for years. It's been his whole thing. And so, of course, his rhetoric would have repercussions, right? And I don't know. It just seems like bullshit to just live in a fucking box and pretend like, oh, I disavow. It's like, no, I don't disavow. I don't, like, endorse it, but I certainly don't disavow it. You know what I mean? It's like I would have been much happier had he been a better aim, really. Like, personally, I don't think. Could you possibly be honest with yourself if you are like, oh, I wanted the COVID to kill him, but not the bullet, and it's like, sure, the optics, I guess, or whatever, but it's like, I'm not the one that fucking did it. I don't care. Why would I give a fuck? This man has called for the deaths of people, Palestinians right now, fucking LGBTQ people, which Jimmy is one. So are many members of the cast and stuff on this show. I haven't even let him speak for a second yet, and I'm not gonna yet, because I'm not gonna listen to this whole thing. But this is just like we gotta just be honest, man. We don't have to have this fucking. This is like it's just virtue signal. I do not understand the liberal mindset.
I hope you have a
Selfie, thank you.
Ending this video is where I should. Actually, let's do this. For the sake of posterity, what happened? Yesterday, somebody attempted to assassinate Donald Trump. On July 13th, at a Pennsylvania rally, somebody took to a rooftop and shot at the former president, hitting his ear, it would appear, with a bullet. There are people trying to push another story. The evidence actually doesn't point that way right now. However, if that evidence comes out, then would be the time to accept it. However, actually, I even have it. There is a photo that actually shows the moment after. So this is right before he cups his ear.
Yeah. First reports.
I hope you have a
Shayla, thank you so much for the 10 months. First reports were that it was a piece of the teleprompter glass. People are saying that this is a bullet. It could be. I don't know why this couldn't also be a piece of glass, because, like, how could you tell? Whatever. I don't care. He got shot at either way. It doesn't really matter. It's crazy that if it did actually graze his ear and the bullet actually did go through, that's fucking crazy, man. What a terrible shot. And it hit a guy in the crowd who, by the way, was a sack of shit. He's like, he was calling fucking black people DEI hires on Twitter like the day before. So, I mean, you know, can you imagine a guy behind him took a bullet? Can you imagine taking a bullet for fucking Donald Trump, dude? Oh my God. What a fucking waste of humanity. Yeah, this is dumb.
And can feel that something has gone wrong. That actually appears to be the bullet as it exited his ear. This was at a campaign rally, and let me just say unequivocally, it is something that should be condemned.
Okay. I mean,
unequivocally, it is something that we should not be engaging in conspiratorial thinking for. And I'm very mad.
I'm fine with not conspiratorial thinking.
Mad and angry and disappointed with people I respected and am friends with and like, as people generally apparently happy to engage in conspiratorial thinking and not apparently internalizing what it actually means to be a skeptic and how that should be different. Because while
I think people were skeptical right away. I don't necessarily think people going like, wait a second, is this real? Is not skepticism. I do think if you just run with the it's not real without checking, like, then it isn't skepticism, right? But I don't think because it looked so fucking weird. The whole thing looked weird. I've seen shootings before, right? We live in America. The whole thing was just a weird setup. Like, the Secret Service fucked up. Donald Trump acted weird himself, and then there was the fucking fist pump shit. And now they're trying to spin it into a sexist thing about the fucking, like, Secret Service lady that was right in front, like, literally the one that would have got shot if there was one more bullet sent. I don't know, like, doing her fucking job. I don't know. Just sexism. Nothing feels real right now. I mean, it is real, though. You know, I mean, there was other people that have ran for office that have had people shot. There's guys that got fucking killed at a baseball game a few years ago. This isn't that crazy. This is just it's so fucked because the Secret Service really blew shit and the shooter blew shit, and so everybody failed all over. And it's a political guy who is genuinely harmful and who a lot of people would materially benefit from the doom of. So, yeah, this is, I mean, what's to condemn? Like, I don't have to endorse it, but I'm not going to condemn it either. It's just like, a far-right crazy person who the shooter was. He was a far-right crazy guy. Seems like he found out, maybe. It seems, I don't know if this is true or not. We don't know. They apparently can't hack in, but some people are saying that it could be like Epstein related because Trump was on the Epstein shit. Some people are saying it could be economic, you know, because I think the guy was from this fucking town, wasn't he? It was like a convenient thing for him. And, you know, of course it's like a guy who shouldn't have a gun who stole his dad's gun to shoot at the fucking former president who's, you know, wrapped up in the Second Amendment lobby getting paid and shit. It's crazy, man. I disavow the method, not the goal. I mean, I would happily benefit from the demise of Donald Trump, but I'm not going to try to enact it, right? So, like, wouldn't taking a bullet for someone require them to be in between the bullet and its intended target? He was collateral damage. It's cold, but lionizing random people for getting... Wait, who are we talking about? Collateral damage. Who was?
Well, I am fine with a person going, hey, these things don't add up. Can somebody like help me fill in some gaps? To go, these things don't add up, so I'm thinking it might have been staged as opposed to first trying to fill in those gaps. That is no different than any...
The guy who got shot at the Trump rally? Oh. Well, he didn't stand in front of Donald Trump. He was behind him because the bullet missed.
Conspiratorial thinking.
But, like, yeah, just...
person. And I know, because I was one. I was a Mormon. I was a conservative. I went through all of that, and I deprogrammed from that. And how disappointing I have been in the last...
how disappointing you have been. A little slip, but I kind of agree.
However many hours it's been now since then that I am seeing these people who I thought were on the same page content to go that way, but also to make light of it.
Oh God, that's the part. Like, sure, I'm fine with like, hey, temper your conspiracy theory shit. I think it was mostly people posting and like making jokes and whatever. They're like, that was the fakest shit I ever seen in my life. But like some people were like full. I mean, obviously, are gonna full on conspiracy no matter what happens. But like, why do we have to feel like sanctimonious about it? It's so weird.
To suggest that the only bad thing that happened was that the bullet missed. These types of really gross, dark, terrible things when we are right now, this was at a campaign rally for an election. Yeah. There's still going to be an election. Donald Trump will still be president if he is elected. So whatever a person might have to say that sometimes violence is justified or whatever else, it seems to me that as long as elections are still happening, this isn't that time.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah. So, Jimmy, that's a reactionary position, not a proactive position. The position that you should have is that there is a fascist and a wing of fascists around him trying to take control, and we should stop them. I don't know if that was even like in... And we're saying that in, like, you know, political means. Like, this guy grabbed a gun, and I don't even think he was trying to stop fascism, dude. But, like, I'll take the fucking, you know, accidental own goal. You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
Let me get a little Rubio going over here. This thing that happened was not a good thing. If you agree that violence is rarely justified, I'm not going to be one of the people who say never, obviously. Nobody truly believes never. And that it should not be utilized when the freedom to vote is still an option.
I disagree that that's my fucking line. What if we had free elections, but they were rounding up trans people, man? What? What a dumb fucking arbitrary line. I have no idea why you're choosing this. It seems not to follow logically whatsoever. You could have elections and have reason to politically like move on. They had elections during fucking slavery, man. Hello? Use your fucking head. Liberals, dude. Like, literally, a president that got elected had to well, end slavery, but, played a very integral role in ending slavery. Like, hello? As long as, I guess fucking abolitionist activists or extremists, as you might call it, were they, like, justified? Was anyone that killed a slaver justified, dude? I disagree. Political violence is just... Like, you can't just fucking wring your hands with that shit. It's totally justified in a lot of situations. I'm not saying this is one of them. I mean, I'm just saying that we would have benefited societally from it working out. Like when COVID is this, I feel exactly the same way about COVID. It's like, oh, that happened? I wish it would have gone another way because I would have benefited from it. You know? I don't know, man. It's like if he got in a car accident, I'd feel exactly the same way. Like, damn. This is silly. Silly Jimmy stuff.
Our country isn't there yet. But let's say you don't actually agree with that, or you think our country is there. If you care about women's rights, if you care about gay rights, if you care about trans rights, if you care about health care, if you care about fair immigration policies,
I don't think the guy that was shooting at Donald Trump cared about any of that shit from any political indication. But, like, Yeah, Donald Trump is a threat to all of these things. So him dying of any cause at all is awesome. That would benefit us. That would be good for us. If he died on the shitter, it'd be best. If he just stood up there and fucking just perished, that'd be amazing. Heart attack or something? That'd be great. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Frederick Douglass. Look out, he's got a flare gun. It says "for virtue" on the side. You gotta set up the virtue signal.
You care about so many of the things that are different between just the Republican and the Democratic Party. And I'm talking to you about that as a leftist. Recognize.
Look, I'm just saying it's sussy. It's sussy. You like to label yourself as he doth protest too much, I think. We'll see. We'll see. You said liberal wrong? I don't know. I think your adherence to electoral politics as a reliable source of a country's ethical behavior is like fucking weird. I do not think that's the bar. I think it's one bar that's pretty good, and our system of voting isn't even that free. The Electoral College is very bad. We don't have ranked choice voting. There's a lot of voter suppression in general. There's gerrymandering. There's voter ID law. I mean, there's so much that goes on with it. It's not a very free election. So, yeah, I mean, you're incredibly gerrymandered, rigged, and not in the Donald Trump way, like rigged towards, like, you know, strange fucking districting and trying to appoint conservative judges to make sure certain people get appointed so that you can make sure elections go a certain way. Like, come on, man. They're trying their best to put their finger on the scale as much as they fucking can. It's not that free. If it was straight up, the Democrats would win every fucking time because the policies are better. And people just popularly agree with them. When was the last time? Is it George W. Bush after 9/11 won the popular vote? No, it wasn't. No, he fucking lost to Al Gore. That's what it was, right? Yeah, he fucking lost. 2000. Gore was 2000, yeah. Kerry in 2004? Oh, yeah. Oh, but Kerry sucked. Goddamn Dems, the fucking liberals, and the goddamn half-steps. Give one fucking lefty an actual job. Like, you totally... Is this also the video where he says for Biden not to step down or whatever?
Recognizing that I do not support either party, but one of them is clearly much less evil than the other.
Obviously, yeah.
If you support all of those things, then yesterday was a terrible day. Because now Donald Trump may be undefeatable.
Dude, liberals. This is crazy. I don't actually think that this moves the needle much.
Being a racist isn't illegal.
I don't think it moves the needle a lot. I think it moves it a little bit. We'll see what happens. The thing that hurts, the thing that would change it overnight is if we changed on from Joe Biden. People would be like, oh, fuck, they're doing something. Every action is an attempt to ratchet the country towards fascist Christian nationalism, and it's weird that you reserve that assessment for only some of them, Jimmy. I know, right?
At the very least, he will be very hard to defeat. And I already know the comments that are coming. Wow, you really think this changed the vote? Somebody was like, well, I wasn't going to vote for that monster, but now I am because he got shot. Yep. I do think that.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I'm going to explain why, but it'll probably be the last section of this. I need another Rubio. Here we go.
Well, I'm not going to be around that long.
Go.
I'm going to stick around a little bit longer.
Let me do the.
Right. This is what I mean. Like I find him cringe a little bit.
Just
drink your water.
I feel silly even being silly right now. Ever having some silliness because this is a serious topic and I'm so angry.
This is what it's such a serious topic. What?
With everything where I'm so angry with people I liked.
Go.
I guess still like. I'm not.
Feels performative.
I'm going to call anybody out individually, and not all of it is stuff that I was privy to publicly. Rather, that was publicly available. Things that I am privy to also annoy me. And so I'm just getting my thoughts out there to kind of have it out on the record. To kind of say, like, hey, guys, if you hate that side so much, why are you starting to become more like that side?
What's that? What does that mean?
Because, yeah, there's hypocrisy. And this is the wildest thing, is when you point something out like that, they'll be like,
I don't know what the hypocrisy is. I have been consistent. I think Donald Trump being dead 20 years ago would have been good, like for any reason whatsoever. Slip and fall, don't care. I do not care how it happens. That'd be great. Who gives a shit? Why would I care about that guy? What a slippery slope.
Well, the Republicans. So what you're saying is,
So you just said that they were a fascist 1 second ago.
your values are now whatever the Republicans say is okay to do?
No. My values are definitely that I'm happy if fascists die. I don't care. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I don't I love fascist on fascist violence personally. You know what we need to talk more about? White on white violence. That's what I think. What, man?
Not to be better than them? I'm seeing this a lot with like
What's better? What is better? I don't want... Okay, so the difference between me and a fascist is I don't want to round up the fascists and put them in camps and ovens and shit, and the fascists do want to round people at probably very near the end, but I'm on the list somewhere. I'm very near the end. I can pass as a well, I am a heterosexual cisgendered white man, but I can pass as one of them for a while. But nonetheless, like, he's not actually saying anything. He's just posturing. Well, that's what I mean. Like, what virtue is there? Oh, we're gonna be better than them at what? I am fine if Donald Trump dies from something that happens that isn't me doing anything. What the fuck? I didn't do anything. No one else did anything. We were just all like, dang, it's a close one.
I hope you have a fantastic day.
Midnight and all night, 37 months. Came from the brain rot. We have more rot here? Tell me yes, good sir. Oh, yeah. Liberals under fascism. Well, guys, at least we fought clean. I know, right? That Sarson, thank you. That's exactly it. It's something like the, oh, when they go low, we go high. It's like, but the low is like they're violating the law to do something that will fuck people over, and the Democrats are unwilling to use the same exact power to undo the bad thing. You know what I mean? It's not like whatever this is. This is a different thing. This isn't leftists fucking doing anything. This is right-wing on right-wing violence, and I'm for it. The more right-wingers that shoot each other with unregistered and unlicensed firearms is a moment we're closer and closer to a better society. The guy hit the wrong guy with the bullets. He hit the guy with no power. I don't care that it happened. It's not cheering it on. I guess it's Is it cheering it on? I didn't know it was going to happen. It's more like a, aw, dang. That's the collective opinion. Aw, dang. And we're clowning on it because we have no empathy for the guy because the guy sucks. He's a bad guy.
Well, Donald Trump made jokes about the attempt on Pelosi's life, her husband, and overall what was her. And yeah, he's fucking garbage for that. And so are you if you're doing it now too.
I think it's a big difference. Paul Pelosi's worst crime is like theft on the stock market. And I do not think it is as fucked up to think it's funny. It's funny that a guy almost shot Donald Trump versus there was a person who was incited directly by Donald Trump. By the way, the shooter was also incited directly by Donald Trump. Both of these are his fault. Incited directly by Donald Trump to go break and enter in. I don't even like the Pelosi. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I don't think Paul Pelosi deserved to be fucking like, you know, have his house broken into and for a guy to hit him with a hammer. I don't think that. It's wrong, but like that's a big difference from like what was going on with Donald Trump there. Like it's obviously a different thing. For you to invoke that is just so weird and very like, I mean, you're just a fucking liberal, man. What is this leftist shit? What are you talking about? You've been a liberal. This is lib stuff. He's a fascist. Who cares?
Making light of it. Making it seem to an audience of people that you don't abhor political violence.
I don't. What? Have you ever read like The Wretched of the Earth? You should read some firsthand accounts of fascism. Like fascist takeovers. You should watch. Oh, what is that? Oh man, there's a great document. I've asked this before. It's not The Killing Fields. It's a documentary of a bunch of fascists, and it's like 30 years later, and they had killed a bunch of communists and shit. And it was Malaysian genocide. Not Jakarta method. The act of killing. Fucking thank you. Iron Goliath. I think it was you last time. Thank you. It's the act of killing. I can never remember the name of that. But I sat there fucking clenched the whole time because it's hard to watch. It's like literally a documentary about a fascist coming to terms with the realities of his evils and the evils of those. It's more than just one fascist that is talked to from a guy 30 years old. They're like old men. Yeah, man, you need to watch this shit. You don't need to feel bad about this. It's weird that you fucking feel bad. He didn't die. Why would you feel... If Donald Trump had gotten his head blown off, you would have felt bad? You'd have been like, oh, this is terrible. Really? Why? For what? Because, like, the America with all the guns... It's because it's not kids? I abhor violence. Like, what? I fucking... Get your head out of your ass, man. Bobby Fino, what up, dude? Very happy to see you. Hey, you got blocked by Matt Dillahunty too, huh? We're all blocked now.
And it's disgusting.
Have a fantastic day.
We all got
As far as the
now,
event
bro.
itself, I was actually asleep when it happened. I think I didn't wake up for 3 more hours. I'm dealing with health stuff, and I slept the day away. I didn't wake up until like 9 o'clock in the evening. But when I woke up, the conspiracies had already taken off, and they had gone bananas.
Okay, I don't really care about this part. Okay, so that's really, I mean, that's my gripe with Jimmy. But I have a further gripe. I have more gripes. Many more gripes to go. These are with Matt, though. This is roughly the same topic, but it's like a little bit down the road from it. Talking about the Project 2025 situation. Now, here's the deal. I am blocked by Matt Dillahunty now. I got blocked. Well, I kind of got blocked because Sarah, but like whatever. She's correct, and she's not being mean. I believe this is in reply to the Jimmy Snow video we just watched, or like it was Matt Dillahunty quote tweeting the video, or it was someone responding to it. I can't quite remember. Sarah said, I actually feel the opposite disappointment when a bunch of white men are telling, and I can't see what this was, but you can get the vibe of what was said here. It started here, though. Like, Sarah saying that white men are telling me I need to feel bad for Hitler 2.0 getting hurt after he said he wants to put me and my loved ones in concentration camps. Matt says this is hyperbole. It's hyperbole that Project 2025 says they want to put LGBTQ people in concentration camps or whatever. It's not hyperbole to talk about what Trump himself has said. Thank you, Walter Grant. It's not hyperbole to talk about what Trump himself has said or what the plan of Project 2025 is. They want queer people dead, and I don't think we need to play respectability politics with fascists. He continues to go on to say, like, no, it's hyperbolic to say this kind of thing about the ideas of Project 2025. And we'll be able to see his words in a second here, I'm sure. But so she put out, you know, Project 2025 stuff. Yeah, from Jimmy Snow, and he's right. Yeah. So this was the video. Matt said that. I actually feel the opposite disappointment. Nobody here is saying you need to feel bad for him. I don't. I'm also not swayed by hyperbole. Hyperbole that loved ones in concentration camps. It's not hyperbole to talk about what Trump himself said or what the plan of Project 2025 is. I want queer people dead. Show me where they've said they want queer people dead or in concentration camps, which is a little disappointing because, like, obviously it's happened. So here's this. In Restoring the Family, the authors write the next president removed the terms sexual orientation and gender identity, diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender equality, gender equity, gender awareness, gender-sensitive abortion, reproductive health, reproductive rights out of every federal rule, agency, regulation, contract, grant, regulation, and piece of legislation that exists. The report likens pornography to transgender ideology, which it says it is in the realm of child predators and misogynist exploiters of women. So it wants to So Project 2025 seeks to redefine a transgender person as inherently pornographic and predatory towards children. Which would essentially criminalize being trans and being public facing, so having any kind of job towards the public, which is basically all jobs, trying to criminalize it, making you just inherently pornographic, which would literally criminalize you. And when they're talking about police crackdowns at the same time, among policies areas in Project 2025 are eliminating LGBTQ rights, eradicating federal funding for DEI programs, purging the government of apolitical civil servants, eliminating the checks and balances built into the three branches of government in favor of an expanded control by the executive branch, ending reproductive freedom and replacing the Department of Health and Human Services with the Department of Life, replacing the Department of Homeland Security with a 100,000 worker-strong immigration department, militarization of the border, and an end to the refugee programs, fundamentally altering American diplomacy in favor of anti-abortion and anti-LGBTQ agendas, and abandoning international organizations and traditional diplomatic and security alliances. Puritanical, genocidal bullshit. It's terrible, yeah. She goes on to say Project 2025 and the goals of the Republican Party have always been about wanting
My corn is so moist that it's actually dripping.
Yeah, she goes on to explain it. It's not just hyperbole. They have always used political violence on the marginalized and want to be unchecked to continue to do so. They're even going after doctors and teachers who support trans people. Trump said he would block doctors who provide gender-affirming care from Medicare and Medicaid, forbid federal agencies from actions to promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age, and task the Justice Department with the investigating the medical hit industry to see if they deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich. In the video, Trump laid out additional plans for extending the restrictions to the schools, promising severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for educators who suggest to a child they could be trapped in the wrong body. So literally just having a trans student and them coming to you and saying like, "Hey, I think this is going on." You can't help them. You have to be part of a system of telling them that they're the wrong about themselves. I don't know. Well, how deeply confusing. In 2022, Trump told a crowd in Texas he would ban transgender individuals from competing in women's sports and attack transgender swimmer Leah Thomas weeks after her hotly debated. Yeah. So also, it was his own right-wing nut job that tried to do it. It's hyperbole, period. You cannot produce what you said and keep pushing it. You're right. That's all problematic. You may lead right, folks. That's hyperbole. Man, whatever. You just want to wear blinders to the real goals of the GOP and the right, which is fucking sad considering you claim to be an ally of the marginalized. CPAC speaker calls for eradication of transgenderism to applause. Keep trash talking me. It's not trash talk. He goes on. How's this trash talk? You go harder on people regularly. That's true. Can't argue for shit. He's doing this thing where he just doesn't really like engage with what's being said. Nothing you link said they want people dead or in camps, did it? Matt, what do you think it means when they want to say to eradicate transgenderism and register all trans people as pedophiles? Neither of those is them stating they want people dead or in camps. That's your dude. This is what I mean. Like, okay, so eradicate transgenderism and then changing the term transgender to mean a criminal pedophile, just to reclassify it altogether. You don't find that to be a violent act that would lead to people dying or in camps. How do you think it starts? It's crazy. Yeah. So I'll just end this here. Goodbye. And then he blocks her. So anyway, man, I'm so disappointed in this guy. This is just a bunch of bad fucking, like, ideas, man. And then he goes on to have this take later, which is maybe even worse. I don't know who he's talking to. Maybe it's Sarah. Yes, you are very disappointing and dishonest. Let's try one more clear example. Gay conversion therapy is harmful and unscientific and rooted in ignorance that leads to harm and death. I agree. But it is inaccurate to pretend that someone advocating for it wants gay people to be harmed. That is like so fucking dumb. Big, hard disagree. So here's what I said and I agree with it. So might as well just read my words. Christians openly and routinely wish actual material harm on the LGBTQ plus community. Furthermore, the harm is the point with conversion therapy. They believe the harm is functioning as the treatment, but they indeed understand that it's harm. Yeah, I mean, like, you know how Christians are with like punitive punishment, like trying to hurt you. Like they're the types of motherfuckers that bring out like a switch to spank their kids and shit because it's about the harm. That's what they think helps. Like Jesus got beat, you get beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't even want them to be harmed. Absolutely does want them to be harmed, man. Wants them to be harmed to the point that they stop being gay. That's what it is. Man, if you give a fascist an inch, take the whole fucking mile.
If I like was gay or something.
This includes legitimize them with respect. This has been seen in history time and time again. Of course, I agree. My daughter cannot live her life publicly, cannot marry who she loves, and cannot talk about her identity. That is harmful. Not all camps have physical barriers. True. Okay, using this guy's own argument against him, shooting people harms them. Advocating for them to be shot doesn't mean you want them to be harmed? Yeah, I guess. Anyway, I jump in to the argument later. Does that mean stated goal of desire is death? No. Stop confusing effects with motivations. We only need to point out the consequences and how they are fine with those consequences. No need to pretend to be a mind reader about their desires. You don't think there's conscious harm being done with these proposed changes, considering LGBTQ people legal so like he thinks that Republicans are just like this aw shucks bunch who don't think that any harm will come to the gays and the trans people or whatever that they're legislating it, but that's the point of it. They want to harm them. I do not understand why he thinks that they're saying their motivations. I don't have to pretend what their motivations are. This isn't pretend. They have shown their motivations. Project 2025 is an outline of their motivations. He's infantilizing evil motherfuckers that want me dead. I know, right? So I asked, you don't think there's conscious harm being done with these proposed changes, considering LGBTQ people legal pedophiles is very extreme, and obviously means that they want, like, what do you think they feel about pedophiles? Do you think they don't want pedophiles harmed? It's implicit in the fucking framing. I'm surprised by your take here. You go way harder on people regularly than anyone in this thread went at you. Heat kitchen exchange. So I mean, like, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen sort of shit with Matt. Because I've been in calls with him on the line before where he like fucking screamed at this random guy that I did not think deserved it, and he like hung up on him. I was like, all right, cool. Like, he goes way too hard sometimes, and I think he has very little patience. I don't understand why he's upset here, and so I try, I think pretty reasonably, to talk to him about it.
It's cold.
I went too hard. He didn't read it right, apparently. You go way harder on people regularly than anyone in this thread went at you. I went too hard? Yeah, I didn't say that. I said it wasn't swayed by hyperbole to someone who claimed it wasn't hyperbole. Couldn't defend that. Questioned my integrity, made fallacious arguments, tripled down, then went to the Holocaust and accusations that I wouldn't say what I said to you. Bullshit. So I just sort of ignored that and kept going. I think the reason he's upset is because he's getting called out on his bullshit and he knows it. I don't even think it's that hard of a call out. Which is the hyperbolic part that goes too far for you? Camps? What is the proposed imprisonment of LGBTQ people? Labeling them as pedophiles is barely different than criminalization, and I stand by this. I'm confused why being shown aspects of 2025 angers you, or why this interaction does. And no, I mean, in general, you have a short fuse and hang up on people or yell at them to shut the fuck up all the time. So I don't know why rather lightly approaching you with excerpts from GOP policy makes you so angry. I haven't actually seen you describe why you consider it hyperbolic. Then you didn't pay attention, okay? I still haven't seen it. He just keeps calling it hyperbolic. She, Sarah, came on my thread whining about white men irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. This is tone policing. This is he's going to say tone police my wife instead. Maybe tone police my wife. I'm not tone policing you. This is actually tone policing, like telling a woman when it's like, hey, men be telling me this, and you're like, wow, you know, stop whining, lady. Come on, man, that's tone policing. You're tone policing. And asserting that they want trans people dead or in camps. They do want trans people dead and in prisons, and it'd be fine if they were camps. Yeah, that's hyperbole. It's not. Nothing she posted supports that without fallacies and or hyperbole. Maybe tone police my wife instead. I didn't tone police his wife. I didn't even talk to Arden. Are they married? I didn't even talk. That's not what's happening here. So you think they want them in prison and pushed out of public life, no teachers, librarians, government employees, etc., but that this wouldn't lead to further violence? I don't know. It seems pretty obvious how they treat minorities here. We'll just take you down the thread. Not tone policing. And then he, I guess, copy and pasted my tweets. Tone police? Man, that's not what's happening here. Me saying I'm not tone policing is tone policing him? Tone policing. Surely you agree you're hot-headed? That's not a tone. I don't know how. I'm not telling you to change your tone at all. I'm not telling you that, hey, man, the way you're talking right now, it's really, you know, I think it's really, you know, not helpful language, you know, this or that. That would be tone policing. I'm saying that you're just mad. You're just molding. I don't know why. I don't know why you're mad about this. I don't think asking you to reflect on your anger is tone policing, man. It's not about your tone, but your actual hot-headedness. Project 2025 is fascist extremism, and if you think it's not explicitly violent towards LGBTQ folks, I don't know what to do for you. Prisons or camps. Way to keep avoiding the issue. I mean, you can see the ratio here. Way to keep avoiding the issue. I'm aware of and have spoken about Project 2025. And I also know that when people are tone policing and dodging the questions and arguing fallaciously, but hey, I'm one of those white men she started off dismissing, which I ignored. Oof. Very lib shit. What the I'm one of those white men. She's like, whoa. Very fucking touchy about that. Okay. Okay, dude. Is this the poisoning the well part? Wait. Okay, yeah. So I'm one of those white men too. I'm also one of those white men. Why does that bother you so much? You have avoided talking about the project altogether in this thread and have been focused exclusively on being upset about perceived hyperbole or tone police without explaining why you think that, just that you do. And I agree. I'm sure they're numbered. Look up Poisoning the Well, Last Chance. Where was I wrong about her fallacies? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you haven't given your reasoning. Your response is that it's hyperbole without saying why you think that. I genuinely don't understand this Last Chance shit right now, man. Why are you so short-fused? I'm not being shitty to you in the least. And I wasn't. It's hyperbole, period, is what I'm showing him. He's just saying, it's hyperbole. Like, is it genuinely because in their written words they don't use more honest language about it? We think they're dog whistling, but you don't think so? So, like, is the rub that he thinks they should... we can't know their motivations because they're using language that is lampshading their true intent? Goodbye. What? What? Anyway, he blocked me. Goodbye. So anyway, that's that. I couldn't be less emotional about this. I don't know. I just think he's wrong. I don't know why he got mad at me. I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't think Sarah did either. I think the closest thing Sarah did to incite anything is say you have blinders on, man. Why is he like that? Super fucking weird. I don't know. Came off immature. I agree. I don't know why. Pretty disappointed, honestly. It's not like he's always been like the chillest dude in the world when it comes to having disagreements with people. He's known for hanging up on fuckers, but I don't know what the liberal juice over there at the line is, but you need to stop sipping it. We need to figure out how to get real a little bit. Like pretending that Project 2025 isn't violence towards fucking like the LGBT community is insane to me. That's actually just, it's irresponsible even. It's misinformation borderline to not say that it's violent. It has violent intent written through it. They want to criminalize being trans, making it akin to pornographic, pedophilic material or expression, and then use the police to put you away out of public and keep you out of public jobs. What? How is that not violence? That's like textbook fucking violence. Is he just blocking everybody? I'm sure his mentions are not looking like people are supporting him on this. I don't think people agree with him whatsoever. The only people I've seen give the lightest pushback against me is like, well, you know, maybe it was a semantics thing, but he wasn't arguing. I mean, maybe it was semantics, but he didn't express this thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Teach me, Daddy!
Very, very quiet. Man is listening for them to say the quiet part out loud for every bullet point of Project 2025, one at a time. Yeah, I guess we have to wait until they accomplish fascism to react to fascism is fucking crazy, dude. I don't understand the mentality. It's happening in Ambassador Monday. Well, no, like Mayo Monday's problem was he was trying to get a clip. He was Mayo Monday is a bad actor. I think Matt is just genuinely like just a grumpy guy right now. I don't know. I don't think Matt's a bad person usually. I just think he's, I don't know, stubborn. He wants to be like, that's hyperbole. Like he might be on some philosophy bro shit. Like, is anything, if I say like, oh man, that took forever, does he like think that that's hyperbole? It's God, he's just being so hyperbolic. Like, it is technically hyperbolic, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to do anything, and that's even just exaggerating. So if I say something like, oh man, I just, you know, frogs, I think we should consider frogs pedophiles and put them away in prisons. All frogs? Yeah, I think we should put all frogs away because they're pedophiles. And be like, well, I guess that's not violence. I don't know why. His whole thing is that you can't prescribe intent to Project 2025. Yeah, sure you can. Sure you fucking can. Just because conservatives are enacting intricate plans to systemically kill or harm minorities doesn't mean they want to kill or harm minorities because they never explicitly said the words. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if the policy is materially harmful, then that's the intent. That's the most fascist sympathizing shit ever. How can we know the intent? It's crazy. I do not understand why this is his position. I still think they're right about atheism and whatever. Liberals, though, man. I don't know why. Why can't we just be real? Why can't we just be realistic? When a cop is beating the shit out of you for some kind of moral crime, you're not sitting there worried about, what was the senator intending, right? What was the Senate's intention while I'm being carted off to the fucking trans pedophile prison? I guess I'm in the pedophile prison because I'm myself. That's crazy. It's weird. I can't agree with Matt on this one, and I'll admit I was ready to before the segment started. I'm inclined to agree with Matt. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. It's whatever, man. Maybe he'll get over it. Maybe he won't. So weird when a politician is just really, really concerned with this hyper-specific criminal situation and how he can punish people for it. I know, right? I don't know why. Maybe it's cope because his partner is trans and he's like, no, it can't be real. Maybe it's just like full-on fucking dissonance. He's been a Christian. It's not like he's incapable of the shit. I feel like a guy unable to confront that people he's interacted with have actually malicious intent towards others. Maybe? Like, even if Christians think that harm is good for someone, they agree that it's harm, or they would hope that harm, they want harm to happen in the process of deconversion therapy, because that's like the treatment. Like, you harm the gay person and the gay person goes, I'm not gay anymore. That's what they think. The cruelty is the point. Exactly. I'm gonna take a guess, and every liberal was sick the day we learned about history repeating. I suppose. I feel I may be trans, but how can I ever even begin to find it safe to explore when people want to kill me for it? And those who are meant to be allies are defending them or lampshading it for them? Well, I think defiantly so. You get to live your truth. You get to live just whatever makes you happy. That's my opinion. And they shouldn't be able to stop you. And you have genuine allies all over that aren't liberals. And even some of the liberals are good allies. Like, I'm pretty confident that the whole country won't just immediately overnight become a fascist hellhole because the states individually will fight back. But who knows?